Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Okalmat One Stop Network on behalf of the Kickbacks. This is Barke Faraj Kamos. I am here today to actually talk about one thing, and that is you. Now, this is something that a lot of us don't actually put as a first priority. This going on for especially our teenagers, mothers, people who actually matters the most. Now, so the families and the children seeing this from their own family. Now, I'm talking about, let's, for example, a home with a single mother. And within that home, the mother has to be working all the time. And that means the child is left to fend for itself. The child has to do things for themselves. And that will make the child to, because there's not a lot of guidance, there's not a lot of kind of like someone to watch, someone to be aware, someone to to be there for you. And when your mother comes home, she's exhausted, and you feeling that, come on, it's tough, okay? And that is the brutal of life. And this is something that a lot of family, because they get to rebel and they get into trouble, and they get into drugs, and they get into gangs, and they get into places that sometimes they're looking for that comfort, they're looking for that family unit, they're looking for that guidance. And this is a major problem that we have going on in our society at the moment. Now, and it's not just about the single parent. It's not just about the mothers, or if it's only the father, but also sometimes in a family unit, it does happen as well. Now, today, I just want us to actually, I want to put a magnifying glass to you as a person, as an individual. If you're a girl, as a sister, as a girl, as a woman, you yourself, no one else, just you. Today is that day. I want you to, if you can, to stand up on the mirror, look at yourself on the mirror, acknowledge you. Because sometimes when we are hurt, we actually throw the pain by hurting someone else. When we are going through difficulties, sometimes we put a smile on our faces and we joke about everything. Sometimes we actually do the opposite of what is happening in our lives, or we do what exactly is happening to our lives to other people. So this is something that is going on, but we have to learn to have awareness. We have to learn to actually develop ourselves in becoming a whole person. Every one person has gone through pain or will be going through pain. If you haven't got the pain, if you haven't reached that part of your life, then be grateful. But if you are going through pain at the moment, if you are going through difficulties at the moment, you also be grateful, because you're still alive. You still can do something about it. You still can make a difference. And for those people who gave up early, who run and get themselves in a harm situation and get killed or lost their lives, this is where the pain comes along. This is where the people like myself comes to play a part. This is where we want to ensure, and we want to motivate, and we want to show that you can do it too. You can make a difference. You can achieve something. You are a person, and you have greatness within you. You've got so much amazingness within you. It's, you have to see it. But guess what? It's not gonna happen just like that. It's not. I know that. You know that. So let's not hide behind the bush. Let's not hide behind whatever you're gonna put, the mask, whatever you're gonna put in front of you, and pretend. Let's not pretend anymore. Let's be real. Let's be real of who we are, what problems we're going through, what issues in our lives, what is happening in our lives. This is the time to actually acknowledge the pain, to actually acknowledge where you are at the moment, to actually see yourself, the environment you're in, people who surround you, what exactly is happening with your life. End of the day, when the door is closed, you are left with yourself. You are left with that pain. You are left with no one else, just you. This is important. This is something that is actually needed to be taken care of. This is something that is actually need you to wake up from. This is something that only you can make a difference to. Now, saying all that, what actually touched you, what actually made you feel, that's me. And if it is you, what can you do for your life right now? What can you do for your circumstances right now? What can you do? What ability do you have for you to actually stand up? What can you do? I'm saying this. I'm not saying this to give you more problems. I'm saying this because I want you to actually challenge your mind, your mindset. I want you to challenge it. I want you to shake yourself out of this, whatever you're trapping yourself with. Sometimes in life, we know we have a problem. We know where the problem is. We know what we're going through. But then we take another problem and we put it on ourselves. It's like putting a chain on ourselves, and we hold ourselves down because we're so much pain. Because we're going through so much pain, because we're going through so much difficulties. And sometimes it's just like, when is it going to end? Why me? Why is this happening to me? But I'm telling you, it's happened to you because it's not going to happen to anybody else. It's you. You are special. You are given this problem for a reason. You are in this situation for a reason. Now, as a speaker, as a motivator, as an empowerment, this is something that we actually thrive on. Okay, all of us have a story. I have my story. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of my story. I hope you don't mind. I was born in Kenya. I didn't live with my mom and dad. I lived with my grandma. It was nice, it was beautiful. But then I've always wanted that mother love. I always wanted that family unit. I wanted to be with my dad, with my mom, with my siblings, okay? I was one of the 8th child. I was the 4th one anyway. But why was I only the child that was taken away from her family? I was asking myself that question. And I was just like, I felt abandoned. I felt I was left. I felt that nobody loved me. And I wanted that love so much, but there was nowhere. And then at the age of 12, again, it happened again. I was shipped out to Zanzibar, Tanzania. And when I was shipped out, every time it keeps coming back to me and asking myself, what did I do wrong? Why is this happening to me? Why me? So I was shipped out. And when I was shipped out and I landed in Zanzibar, and I met this beautiful woman, this beautiful fair lady. And she looked at me. She was wearing similar to me, what I'm wearing right now. And she looked at me and she called my name, Barke. And I said, yes. I didn't remember her. I didn't, I had a feeling she's someone to me, but I didn't have any recollection of her. This is only, when I was 9, and only 3 years. I met her when my dad, at the age of 9, my dad died. And on the funeral, I saw her. But when I saw my mom, she shaved her hair. She was beautiful hair. She's an half Indian, okay? So she was beautiful hair. And she looked very sad. She looked very dark. She's a fair lady, I'm telling you, she's fair skinned. And she looked so dark, her eye bags, and she had a baby on her arm. And because I don't remember having time with them, so for me, it was just, I didn't pay attention too much attention to it. But when I saw her on that state, I asked why she's like that. Why she has to cover herself all of her body. And I was told because she lost her husband, she's in mourn, and she has to hide her beauty at the same time because she's going to be traveling to Zanzibar, then leaving Kenya, they're going to Zanzibar. And I was like, oh. And I looked at this little boy on her arm, and I felt so sorry for the boy, because I was like, you'll never meet your dad, you'll never know your dad. And I only met my father a few times when he comes to the city, because I was living in the city, they're living in the suburb, and he will come to the city to collect water because sometimes there's no shortage of water, and I will run to him, and there will be my siblings in the people carrier that they had, and I wasn't even interested in my own sisters or brothers, and I'll just want him. I want his attention. I want him to to acknowledge me, and he does, and he did, and I was just, that fulfills me until the time he will even like, come in the car, come inside the car, and he will take me around the corner and be like, okay, go home, and I'll be like, oh, it breaks my heart when I see him or telling me, go home. And I'm like, my home is with you. I want to be with you. But then it didn't. So when that age, okay, I was about 7, 8. And I went through sexual abuse. And I never told anyone. Nobody knew. Because I didn't know how to say it. I was scared. I was like, I'm living not with my mom or dad. And my grandma, if she knew, maybe she would let me go. Maybe she wouldn't let me stay here. So I put that secret inside of me, and I hid it from everyone that loved me. And at that time, there was a girl, a neighbor, her name was Habiba. Okay, we also speak Arabic. I'm terrible, I forgot some. But Habiba is my beloved. Okay, now my name is Barke. I'm like, Barke, come on, it's just Barke. And I was just like, I want to be called Habiba. I want to be called my beloved. And within that, I was just so happy and excited because I want that, And I went to my grandma, and my grandma loved me. My grandma treated me with love and care, and she looked after me. I have nothing to say about her that is negative. Nothing. That woman, oh my goodness, I can put her up and say she's my second mom. She looked after me. She praised me. She say, I love you, Barke, over and over again. But it wasn't her fault. It was me. I wasn't craving for her love. I wanted someone else's love. I want my mom and dad's love. I want that love. So when I went to her and I was like rushing, and I said to her, Grandma, please, I'll change my name. Give my name. I want my name to be Habiba. And she said to me, when you see your father next time, ask him, because he gave you your name. And I don't think I did ask him, because when I meet him, or even like when I think of him, I think of him as a shadow. I think of him as a glimpse. I think of him as something that is like, oh. But then, because it doesn't stay for long. So when he died and my grandma came to me and said to me, Barke, your dad died, it was the saddest time of my life, because even though I was 9 years old, I don't know everything, but I just felt sad, because I was like, oh, this man who was supposed to care, who's supposed to be guiding me, who's supposed to be my hero, who's supposed to be my the person that I can go to, the person that I can, will fight my battles, the person that will always be on my side, died. I felt all alone. Now, in Zanzibar, I look at this woman, and she said, and I was like, yes, who are you? And she said, I'm your mom. And I looked at her and I fell in love with her at the time she said that. And I wanted to know her, and I wanted to know everything about her, and I wanted to just be with her, and I wanted to just like take all the pain away. So we were driving and going home to this new home, and all I do is just looking at her, and I'm like, wow, she's so beautiful, she's so amazing, she's pretty, oh, I can't wait. And then meeting my siblings, we're all grown up, we're big now, we're teenagers, meeting them and seeing them, and I was like, I felt the outsider. I felt like an alien, because I'm in a different time zone, I'm in a different lifestyle, I'm in a different culture. The one that I was brought up, it was totally different. And so now we're living with my father's family, my new grandma, the strict grandma, and this grandma has different rules and regulations. I was a tomboy, okay? My hair was always short, and I love wearing trousers. And you come to this house and you're like, nope. Women, we have to make sure the hair grows, make sure you wear dress, make sure you wear this. And I was like, oh my God. And within that, also just really seeing the difference of culture, seeing the difference of the girls, the way they've been treated in Zanzibar at the time when I was growing up. Teaching girls to go to school or having education, it wasn't priority. So for not a lot of girls will go to universities, not a lot of girls will finish school, not a lot of girls will actually make it to become businesswomen or to become directors or to become, it was kind of like 1 in 100. And even if that has happened, it'd be like, oh, she's too rude, or she's too this, or so it's all negative that is surrounding it. And for me, learning and seeing and hearing this, and it's just like, why? I asked myself, why was I born a girl? Why was I born this body? I don't like it. I don't want it. I want to take it away. I wish, why? And there was no one else to go to. I went to God and I prayed to God. Okay, I'm a Muslim, if you noticed. And I prayed to God and I said to God, God, please, why did you create me as a girl? I have to get married. I have to have children. I can have 100 children. This is not right. I don't want this. God, please, 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 please take me away from here. God, please take me to a place that I can be independent. Take me to a place that I can do good things in life. Take me to a place that I can actually show, or even Even if it's someone, even if I have to get married, make sure to get married to a person that will be humble, that I will learn from them, that I will do things with them, that we can love each other and care for each other. Because let's be realistic, there's no way out. I was like, okay, I was determined. Okay, coming from Kenya, guys, this is Kenya is like more high standard, okay, in education. They're very driven, they're very determined, and they're good. English, it's like they're speaking what you call it, the Queen English. And in Zanzibar, they like American English. So it's a totally different aspect of life. And so for me, it was just like, okay. So going to school, okay, for me, I didn't have any interest in boys. Didn't have any interest in any relationship or anything else except my books, except my education. It was important. And I used to come every year. I come as a first in the class. Why? Because I want to show them, even though I'm a woman, even though I'm my physique and who I am and whatever I am, please, 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 please let me go to school. Please, 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 I want to have a good job. I want to have a career. I want to do things. And they played along at the beginning because they're paying for my school for me to go to school. They're paying me for, they pay for me to make sure I got the education until the age of 15. The age of 15, I got, just like that, got engaged. Just like that, even though I was like, no, I don't want to get married. Nobody's listening to you. That's the culture at the time, okay? Now it's changed a bit. So I just like, I went back to God. I went back to God and I was like, God, help me. Please, 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 please help me. What can I do? Please, what can you do for me? I need you. Trying to make a deal with God here, okay? And I want to just like, please, God, let me if I have to, if there's no other way, okay, let me get married. Please make sure that, I'm doing good in my life. I did get married. And that took me to London. And I live into London. And within that, the person that married me, he was totally different. In a way that I'm ambitious. Yes, as you can imagine, I'm ambitious. I've got dreams. I've got things that I want to do. And he doesn't. So for me, it was a bit clash. It wasn't fitting. It was just like, and it wasn't going together. And so whatever I do wasn't good enough. And whatever I want, it wasn't important. So it made me kind of gone backwards of, yes, you're a woman, you're weak, you are nothing, you are this and you're that, and that emotional abuse and that being in that situation, it kind of made me more depressed. It made me feel like a zombie. I just walk and I'm like, I'm not thinking, I'm not doing anything that I want, but this is the reality. This is my reality now. This is where I am now. And I just took it. Until 14 years of marriage, after the first trial of wanting to leave him, got sent back with my family, and they wanted to disown me, and that scared the hell out of me. Sorry for my French. It scared me so bad that I went back to my marriage. 2 years later, I was like, inside of me, I went back to God, and I said to God, thank you. Thank you for giving me everything that you gave me. Thank you for giving me and share with me and have this knowledge that where I am right now. I made peace with myself. I made peace with my marriage. I made peace with everything else around me. At that time, I didn't care about anyone else's opinion. I didn't care about no one. I put myself first. And I said, Barke, what do you want? I want to be happy. What do you want? I want to be a businesswoman. What do you want? I want to help others. What do you want? I want to be me. Okay, let's make it happen. It wasn't easy, guys. You can imagine. It wasn't easy at all. This is something that happened. It took time. And from 2015 to 2017, I started my business 2016, but I actually still working on myself, still finding myself, still becoming independent. Everything fell on my shoulders. My children, bills, work, everything is like coming from the teenager straight to becoming as a responsibility, having a independent and everything else is on top of you. And I was scared, financially difficulties. I was in like, oh my God. I didn't know to have independence is this expensive or this reality. I thought it would be a bit easier. No, it wasn't easy. It was stress. It was more other problems. But guess what? If I had to do it again, I will do it again. Why? Because end of the day, no one came to my rescue. No one came for me. No one was there for me. I had to be there for me and for my children. I had to stand up and say yes to myself. I had to stand up and say yes to my children, because you know what? It's worth it. It's amazing. And you know what? Now in my life, in where I am right now, I'm actually fulfilled. I'm actually free. I'm actually free of financial difficulties. I'm actually free of stress. I'm actually free from all the pain that was going on in my life at the time, because I was awakening, because I said no more, because I stood up and I said to myself, this is who I am and this is what I want, and I'm going to make it happen. So here I am. Here I am. Hear me. I'm claiming this space. This is me. And my name is Barke Camus. And that's why my book is called What is Your Name? Okay? This is something that all of us, we have something, greatness within us. We've got so much strength within us. We've got so much power within us. But we won't see it unless we actually claim it, unless we actually make it happen. So where are you right now? What do you want to do in your life right now? What can you change in your life right now? A little steps helps. I used to write down in my kitchen, okay? I used to write down my strengths, my weaknesses. I used to write down what makes me happy. Who am I? I used to ask myself over and over and over again. And the most important thing here is I have to learn to actually bring love and forgive. That's the way it goes. I bring love and I forgive. I forgive me. I forgive whoever around me. I forgive whatever that happened to me. I forgive whatever the feelings that I was holding myself with. I forgive and let go. It's not something that I forgive and forget. I do not forget, because here I am telling my story in an empowerment way. I'm telling you my story to inspire you, to share with you this knowledge that you can actually make a difference in your life. You can actually create something amazing in your life, but only you have to choose that. I was bullied and I was accused for things, and I went through difficulties, and I went through divorce, and I went through anxiety and all these depressions and everything else. I experienced all that, but I'm glad. I am glad to have all that knowledge. I am glad to have all that experience, because it's making me who I am. I am a mother. I'm a woman. And I am I'm not a wife anymore, but I am a sister and I am a daughter. This is who I am, and I am proud of who I am. I hope you do this for yourself. I hope you make this work for you, because you are special. You are unique. Choose you. do it for you, because you can make a massive step in your life today. I wish you all the best. Take care, everybody.